Hey gang, by request, that was Huey Lewis in the News, If This Is It, the intro solo and the regular guitar solo. That was such a huge hit for them in the mid-'80s. I think it was off their sports album. I really don't remember. There were so many hits off that one. They were so huge for a while. Anyway, we are going to go over it note for note in just a few seconds, so here we go. Hey gang, we're going to go over this note for note. Don't forget to download the tab from the link in the description below. It's going to make your life a lot easier. Okay, before we get into the solo, let's just, I want to go over the chords or the harmony that's going on in the background. So let me play what I think kind of fits, and then I'll explain what it is. And then it repeats. Okay, so we're essentially playing this song in G for the most part. We're going to start with triad in G, a little D triad, F triad, E triad, and then we're walking up the G major scale from the second note. A, B, C, D, and then back to our G triad. All right, so the solo's played with that sort of rhythm and harmony in the background. Now for the solo, first of all, for the sound of the solo, it's very different than what I just had on the guitar. You'll want lots of distortion, or rather lots of overdrive, so you can get that sustain, because it's a really fluid sort of solo, and I'm also playing it out of the bridge pickup. So lots of overdrive and then bridge pickup. Okay, we're going to go over this thing line by line, but again, I want you to make sure you download the tab because it's going to make it a lot simpler. But before we do, I'm also going to play the whole solo in its entirety, then we'll go through it line by line. So here we go. Okay, so let's cover the first lines. So here we go. Here's the first line we'll cover. All right, so this one starts with a double stop down here in the first position, or second position, I should say. And basically, that double stop, you're going to want to hit the third and the second strings on the second and third frets, respectively, and then slide that up here to where your second string is on the 8th fret. And as you do that, you strike both strings, but when you get to that top one, you want to deaden the third string by a little vibrato in your left hand, like so. Try not to let it ring out too much, okay? So like this. Notice how you start with 2 strings and then you just have 1 ringing at the end. It should be the second string ringing, okay? Then we play this. So that's just basically a bend, full bend on this 10th. Then we're going to, on the 3rd string, we're going to play the 9th, slide up to the 11th, and then play the 7th, like so. Let it ring, give it some vibrato. All right, here's the second line. All right, so this one basically starts on the 7th, and again, this mostly stays in G. There's one note out of the G here, right here, as we play it, so it's going to go 7th, 9th, 10th, and that's a little bit out of G. So back to the 9th, 7th. And now you've got to play this sort of flowing line from the 4th, 5th, 7th, and then slide up to the 9th. You want that to be real smooth, so I do a lot of slides there. I try not to pick it too much. Last part is playing on the 2nd string, 8th, 10th, 9th on the 3rd, back to the 10th, or back to the 8th on the 2nd. Here's the whole line one more time slowly. All right, here's the next line. It involves a transition. Okay, so the first thing is it's got this little transition playing the 10th and the 8th again. And then I'm going 7, 8, 9, and then sliding up on the 2nd from the 10th to the 12th. And that's just to get it to flow a little bit so I can keep it going. I'm not playing that 7th. Notice that the 7th on the 1st string and the 12th on the 2nd string are the same notes, so you can substitute them if you want. Okay, here's the next line. So anyway, that's just walking down from the 12th, 10, 8, and back to 10, and then 10 on the 1st. Now, when I play 10 on the 1st, I slide up from the 9, just so, I don't know why, I think it sounds right. Again, giving it lots of distortion. And we're going to play a similar line to what we played before. Here's the last line of the intro solo. Okay, so it starts out on the 10th. We'll play 10th, 12th, 13th, 12th, 10th. Now 7, 8, 9, and then 7 on the 1st. Little G triad there that we're playing an arpeggio over. So 7, 8 on the 2nd, 7 on the 1st, 8 on the 2nd, 7 on the 3rd. Again, like this. Okay, now this last little piece is simply on the 3rd string. We're playing 7, 8, 9. 8th on the 2nd, 9th on the 3rd, 10th on the 2nd, 9th on the 3rd, and ending up on that 8th on the 2nd. Put it all together, it sounds like this. So we're using that 9th as kind of a pivot point. All right, and that's the intro solo. All right, let's go over the guitar solo proper in the middle of the song. And what's different about it is it's over the bridge chords, which are very different and require a key change as you're playing through it. So they're more or less these chords. G minor, F, G minor, F, then G, C, G, C, G minor, F, and then G, C, G, C, C. Just different triads. And we're back to, you know, the If This Is It regular. All right, so those are the chords, and the solo has got to, like I said, follow over those chords. So let's go over that note for note now. All right, I've got my guitar with the distortion back on, and let's play it first slowly, and then we'll play it line by line. So here we go. All right. So the first thing starts out with the following. We're going to do on the 4th string 7/8. Okay, and that's over the G minor and F. So essentially we're playing in F major on that one. So we'll play 7/8 on the 4th, and then 5/7 on the 3rd. But we're going to bend up that 7 just a little bit and go back to the 5 and do that kind of twice. Okay, here's the next line. Okay, now this is back in G, so we're sliding up from 7 to 9. So that one simply slides 9 back to 7. Okay, and then we're going to slide back up to 9, and then play 8th twice, and then kind of hammer on to the 10th for a short little, and cut it off. Okay, so it should sound like this. Okay, now here's a little line that's pretty neat. Okay, so that's on the 2nd string. We're going to play 8th, 10th. Okay, and then we'll play 7, 8, pull off back to 7, 10th on the 2nd, and 10th on the 2nd. We're going to play back to the 7th on the 1st. And then 7th on the 3rd. So we're playing around again with that G major arpeggio over that little triad. Okay, that's over that G chord progression, G to C chord. All right, now we're going to go back to that G minor and F progression. So we're going to play the second part of the solo. Let me play the first line of it. All right, so that's over the G minor and F. We're going to start out with this 10th fret, okay, on the 1st string, and then we're going to play 13th fret and bend it up a whole step. Then bring it back down to 13. So we're doubling that note on the 10th and then bringing it down. Okay, now we're playing this. Nice little pedal point lick. So here we're playing 11 on the 2nd string. We're playing 11, 13, then 10, 11, 13. Back to the 11th on the 2nd string, and then 13th and 10th on the 2nd string. Okay, after that great little lick, we've got one last line to go, and it kind of goes like this. Keep in mind that's over that C. All right. So it starts out with this little, and that's just a little pull off from 12th to 10th on the 1st string, and then hammer on from 10th to 12th, and then going up to the 15th there. All right. So let me play that slow. Okay, last line is this really beautiful sort of arpeggio lick. Ending on the G, which is good because that's where the song is going into the chorus. Let's take a look at that first one. This right here. So we're starting out on the 20th fret on the first string. We're gonna pull off to the 19th and play the 20th on the second string. And then come right down here very quickly and then play 15, pull off to 12. So it sounds like this. Okay, back to 15. This is all on the second string now. 13th, 12th, 14th on the third, and then we're going to play 12th on the 4th, 12th, 14th, and finally 12th on the third string. One more time for feeling. And that is it, gang. All right, really great solos on this one, and we'll see you on down the road.